Hi, Assalamualaikum, and good morning, everyone. My name is Riza. I'll be presenting our paper on framing the COVID-19 news during Malaysia Pre-MCO on behalf of our group. So we are sharing just the preliminary findings of this study, and for your information, the first author for this paper is Dr. Ismail from University Utara Malaysia, UUM, Prof. Sauda from International Islamic University, and myself, Rizalawati Ismail from IIUM too. So let's move on. So I will divide today's presentations into this outlined, first, of course, introductions. We'll start with the introductions and some background of this study. Of course, we're going to talk about Malaysia and COVID-19 and how media have been reporting about this pandemic. We will highlight the research objectives, followed by how did we frame the COVID-19 news in Malaysia. Then we'll discuss about the methodology, sharing some findings before we give you some small conclusions. All right. Okay, as for introductions, by now I believe that everyone in this whole world is aware and knows about COVID-19. So in Malaysia, the COVID-19 pandemic started to catch our attention actually when the media started to report the breakout news in January 2020. So the first case was reported on 25th January involving these 3 Chinese nationals from Wuhan, China, who entered Malaysia on 23rd January. So this is where, all the nations start to focus, start to give attention to the media about this COVID-19. So since then, the positive cases have been gradually increased. So because we have so many positive cases, so the Malaysian government ordered them, to have this kind of lockdown, but we call it movement control order, beginning or MCO, beginning 18 March 2020. By this time, we have 790 positive cases, active cases reported. Okay, so this is how, the phases, the MCO phases that we had in Malaysia. The first phase started in 18th of March and 31st March, and then followed the second phase, and after the second phase, we go to third phase and phase. So until today, yesterday it has been announced that we are going to this phase 7, which is the phase 7 will start 1st September until 31st of December this year. So meaning that we are going to have movement control order until end of this year, because this pandemic is still active. Okay, let's look at the media and COVID-19. If you can see here, that, without doubt, media have played a vital role in reporting the news of this pandemic, educating the public on the preventive measures, be it in mainstream media, online or social media, everywhere. So, but then with the sudden lockdown in the civilians' life, it has impacted a lot of areas, every one of us, no one is exceptional. So not only the economy, but also our human connectivity. So Malaysia, like any other countries, are battling the spread of false information. People start to share a lot of, false news, fake news, So social communication channels have become increasingly flooded with misinformation, such as false report of infected individuals in various locations, unverified remedies, and all these things. Okay. So because, having all this, so the government authorities, have no choice but to work together with the media practitioner in handling and in managing all this news, during this crisis. So, because we understand, the importance of media, especially with the social media. People can just share everything in the split second. People share everything about their life, about their thoughts, in the social media. So Facebook, the importance of Facebook, or, all of us, we understand the importance of Facebook in people sharing informations with others through their social media. So in this study, we want to look at, about the news frequency, how frequent the news on COVID-19 in Malaysia has been posted, like, how frequent the news in the online news portal and also social media. And also we want to look at, we want to identify the news categories, what kind of news, COVID-19, but, what categories? Is it on the preventive measures? Is it on the cause sources, case sources, sorry? Where is this come from? Like, which clusters, where did you get this, people get this, the COVID-19, and also the case reported, every day, during this, pandemic, the Minister of Health, and also the Director General of Health in Malaysia, people know that they will do announcement in the media, be it in the mainstream media, televisions, or and also they share on the social media. They keep on updating the public about the situations, about the cases. Okay, so we want to see that. So I'm not going to talk about the framing, media framing theory. I'm sure that all of us, understand what is media framing theory and how important is framing, what is framing all about. But what most important is, I want to share about this study. So let's look at the methodology of this study. Of course, we are going to use content analysis. Our content analysis will focus on the social media, which is Facebook and Twitter, and also the online portal. But we are very selective. On the social media, we are going to look at the two important ministries in Malaysia, during this crisis, which is the Ministry of Health Malaysia and also Ministry of Communications and Multimedia. Okay, and then their official Facebooks and Twitter for Ministry of Health Malaysia. And as for online news portal, we are going to look at the Berita Harian, Sinar Harian, and Harian Metro. So the durations for this, study is from 1st January until 31st March. We want to see within this pre-MCO, MCO started in 18th of March. So, how frequent is the news in the beginning of this MCO, January, February, and also March. So here is the social media. We look at the Twitter of Ministry of Health, Facebook Ministry of Health, and Facebook of Ministry of Communications and Multimedia. And for the online news portal, these are the 3 newspapers, and the content analysis, these are the durations. So we have 2 eligible coders for this content analysis. They are postgraduate students of UUM, and they are doing communications programs. Okay, so the coding categories we divided into 3 here on the case sources, preventive measures, and case reported. So these are the findings. let us just share the findings for this study because this is quite interesting. If you can see here in the table, okay, for social media, these are the numbers of the news on COVID-19 that appeared, anything that appeared on the social media, about COVID-19. So, you can see here in the social media, we have a total of 1,789 news or informations about COVID-19 reported on social media of these three accounts. Okay, and for the news portal, we have the number of news as 1,436 number of news or informations on the COVID-19 reported in the news portal. So you can see that in January, so the number of news increased, from January towards March. 460, 1,073, and 1,672. So the total of news gathered from January, February, and March from social media and news portal is 3,205. So to simplify again here, you can see that, the number of news, on this social media and also the news portal. Just combine everything here so that we can see the frequency of the news. Alright, so from that, we divided into, every platform. So for Facebook of Ministry of Health, we have, starting 84 news status about news about COVID-19. February increased to 140, and also in March 298. So very drastic, it increased every from January to March here. Facebook of Ministry of Communications and Multimedia, it is increased, but not so much as the Ministry of Health, and the Twitter for Ministry of Health also increased. So you can see here, if you compare the number of news here, Facebook and Twitter, it seems that more news, more updates, more informations come from the Twitter as compared to the Facebook. Okay, so monthly here was also increased, but here, okay, the January, February, March, this is the Facebook MOH, Facebook of Multimedia Communications and Ministry of Communications and Multimedia, and also Twitter of MOH. So you can see here, how the Twitter have beat all the platform of these three accounts. Okay, so let's look at the news portal platform. So Sinar Harian, Harian Metro, and also Berita Harian. So from these three portals, you can see that Sinar Harian reported the most, on COVID-19. With 623 as compared to other two news portal, Harian Metro and Berita Harian. Okay, here, so this is Harian, Sinar Harian. Okay. It's very interesting because we assume in the beginning, before this study, we thought that Berita Harian would have the most, reported cases, news about COVID-19, but it seems that Sinar Harian has more news on COVID-19. Okay, these are the news frequency based on the news category. Okay, like I explained before, like we have three news category here. One is about case sources, Second is on the preventive measures. Any news on how to prevent this, prevent COVID, sanitizers and whatsoever, and the preventive measures. And also the case reported, how many cases today, how many people, die from this COVID-19, all this under case reported. So here is the total of the news. Okay, you can see here, from all the platform here, Facebook, Twitter, and all the online portal. So a lot of news are on the case reported. Okay, and the second highest is the preventive measures. Okay, not many report on the, the case sources, where is this come from, the cluster and whatsoever. Not, they have, but not so many. And surprisingly, Harian Metro didn't report anything, on the case sources. Alright. So here is the chart again. So you can see the total here. If you compare the social media and also the news portal. Oops, sorry. So the case reported have a lot, and has the highest, is the highest news category reported on both platforms, followed by preventive measures. And these are the news frequency based on the news category. So case reported here, you can see that Twitter, Ministry of Health reported the highest. They keep on updating us with the case reported every day, for the past January, February, March. So they have the highest number, followed by Sinar Harian. Okay, pick up by Sinar Harian, and then the Harian Metro, Berita Harian, then followed by this Facebook account by both ministry. So you can see that Twitter reported the most, and then the news portal. If you look at on the preventive, Facebook, social media play a lot of, reported the most on the preventive measures as compared to the news portal. And then for the case sources, Twitter and also, social media reported the most, not the online news portal. So the conclusion, because this is a preliminary findings, what we can conclude here, more news posting were done on social media as compared to news portal, and Twitter has been widely used as an official social media in disseminating the information news during this COVID-19 pandemic in Malaysia. And Sinar Harian is the popular news portal in Malaysia that's reported on this pandemic. So, and then if you look at the news category, the more posting on case reported as compared to the case sources. They report, how many cases and all these things. So, there are more posting on that as compared to other type of news, about case sources, about preventive measures and what so on. So that's all from us. Okay, thank you very much. If you have any questions, please ask. If not, please feel free to email us. The email address is stated on the slide now. Thank you very much and have a good day.